Let's talk credit. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? My body's in motion. Can you hear me? IG, can you hear me? Let me know. Y'all over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Can you hear and see me? Let me know. Just say yes in the comments so I can adjust accordingly. So can you hear and see me? I am in two different places. So I'm literally looking at my computer. So if you see me looking here, you see what I'm doing right here? You, not you. I'll be with you in a minute. You, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's YouTube. Can you hear and see me? Good. You said yes. Now, give me a moment. I'm looking over here at my, you can't see, but I can see at my other setup, which is my what's this thing called? My cell phone. Can you hear and see me? Okay, Instagram. Yes, perfect. Let me just change this light up real quick. Hold on. Studio lights in. Oh, girl, look at that. Actually, yes. Okay. Today we're gonna talk about credit. Yes. Ooh, you know what? Some of y'all is already on point. My name is Tiffany the Budgetnista, your favorite financial educator. And today we're going to talk about credit in honor of my new book that just popped off, Made Whole. This is the practical guide to reaching your financial goals. I actually was at Barnes & Noble's last night. It came out yesterday. And I saw me with her big sissy poo on the shelf. And so this is a companion book to Get Good with Money. Get Good with Money, New York Times bestseller, 8 weeks on the list. Almost 300,000 copies sold. Made Whole is the companion or the workbook version of Get Go Money. And so the lesson we're going to learn tonight about credit is going to be pulled directly from Get Go with Money. From Made Whole. Do you have your note workbook in hand? Because some of you already got it. It came out yesterday. Some of you pre-ordered because you're smart and you got it already. So if you got it already, I forgot. Dang, I was supposed to type this thing in. No, I forgot something. If you got it already, great. Bring it out because we're going to work directly from it. If you haven't already, oh, Lord, if I tell you, your girl is tired. Okay. Your girl is tired. If you haven't, tag, share. If you are part of the replay crew, you're watching this later, hey, girl. Just let me know that you are part of the replay crew because I love to represent the replay crew. Just let me know. And for y'all in here, so let me just put this in here. I forgot to type. Because for those of you on Instagram, some of you are like, how do I get the book? If you are watching on Instagram, you can type the word book in the comments. How do I? Sometimes I swear, what's the name is not as easy to use as they would lead you to believe. Type the word book. I wanted you to be all caps. I was supposed to be ready with this ahead of time. But when I tell you, my inbox has been flooded. Let me tell you something about brands. Just when you're about to rest, that's when they want to put you in high demand. So my inbox has been flooded. Let me see. And I'll DM you. I'm just like putting this in the comments. DM you a link to buy a signed copy. So if you are not on Instagram, look at your phone. You're on Instagram. So meaning if you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn or any place else, just go to madewholeworkbook.com because I'm gonna be back next week with another lesson and you're gonna want to have the book in hand, right? The link to buy a signed copy, all caps. I'm just writing this to signed copy. I'm writing this to my Instagram crew of my new book. Made Whole. So see, the thing about me is Made Whole, plus the bracelet. And yeah, you didn't know that. So whole plus, what's a plus sign? See, this would be faster if I didn't insist on using proper grammar. I just can't not use proper grammar. I'm sorry. I went to a good school system. Okay, it's pinned. Okay. So Instagram type book. And I will send you a link to get the signed copy of Made Whole. And if you were on any place else but Instagram, just go to Made Whole Workbook. Matter of fact, I'll put it right here. just go on ahead to Made Whole Workbook and you can order a copy. There are still some signed copies. I literally went to this place called Word Bookstore yesterday, signed another 150 or so copies. And I left like the quantity of Budgetnista bracelets. So if you type book and I send you the link, if you over here go to Made Whole Workbook, it'll literally be on the top of the page. You'll see like, get your signed copy. And as long as that banner is there, there are still signed copies left and bracelets left. I just signed an additional. I'd signed originally like 5,000 books, tired. And I just signed an additional 150 books specifically for that store because it's a small, what do they call indie bookstores? And, we want to keep those things alive. So I like to give them a little zoo, if you will. So share this story, share this live because we're going to walk through credit. All right. Are y'all ready? So let's go over what you're going to learn today. Y'all know I used to be a teacher. Do I need to put my glasses on? This is how you know I'm serious. Look at this. These glasses, these ain't even real. I don't wear glasses. But I like the way it makes me feel smart. Because some of y'all don't take me seriously. Don't you think I'm you take me for a joke? Where's my thing? Oh, I'm playing with you? You thought I was playing? No. We're going to learn today. If you don't have a notebook, this is one of my favorites. My friend Leela gave this to me. If you don't have a notebook, what are you even doing? For real. I'm literally going to go to the book. We're going to learn from her. Oh, I'm sorry, sis. I done busted a hole. We're going to learn from her today. Her. Okay? Her is me. We're going to learn from her today. So if you have your book, bust it out. Bust it wide open. Right? If you had your book, bust it wide open. If you don't, it's okay. You can still learn. You're just ill prepared for class. All right? So when the book's being sent out, if you're watching this live, it came out yesterday. So they started mailing yesterday. So if you don't have it yet, that's okay. But guess what? I'll be back next week. Be ready. Because by next week, if you ordered it this week, you will have it by next week. So next week, new lesson directly from the book. That's okay if you don't have it because it's okay this week. Because I'm going to be working directly from the book. If you do have the book, favorite students, because that means you pre-ordered and you was ready. Turn to page 91. It's the credit chapter. We're going to do credit. Okay? Page 91. So here's the thing about credit. So the credit chapter, by the time you get through the book and you get to the credit chapter, you will have achieved 40% financial wholeness. 40% financial wholeness. So financial wholeness is these 10 steps that if you master and maintain, you'll be all right. So what does that mean? It means recession is coming, you'll be all right. Inflation is here, you'll be all right. Lose your job, you'll be all right. What else? Interest rates are high, you'll be all right. Does that mean you'll be perfect? Does that mean you'll be rich? No. But have you ever met someone that external financial ups and downs come, but they're prepared for them? Not that it's not easy, not that it's easy, not that everything is smooth, but they're prepared. I'll give you an example. Because I'm not only financially whole personally, but also in business, this was a rough business year for Budgetnista. You heard me. Honesty is the best policy. My dad would say that when I was, fibbing as a little baby girl. He'd be like, Tiffany, well, he would call me my African, Odochi. Honesty is the best policy. I'm like, does that mean I'm not going to get a spanking? I did get a spanking, but I still had to tell the truth. So honesty's best policy. It was a rough financial year for Budgetnista. But guess what? We was all right. Why? Because one of the components of financial wholeness, personally, is savings, right? So it's budgeting, saving, debt, credit, income, first 5, investing, insurance, financial team, net worth, estate planning. That's the next 5, right? So the Budgetnista had 6 months worth of emergency savings saved. That's one of the saving components. Like that's one of the components of financial wholeness. So this was a rough business year, not just for me, but for many businesses. Guess how many months of emergency savings we have left? 1 month. So had I not saved for rough times, then the Budgetnista, I don't know. But that's what financial wholeness does. It doesn't mean that it's going to give you a perfect life. Everything is going to be great. You're never going to have no financial worries. Of course, it's adulthood. It's a crazy place over here. Adulthood is the worst hood. And I live in Newark. Okay? But what it does mean is when those things come, you gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. Okay. Okay. And so that's what it means. You're gonna be all right. Okay. That's what financial wholeness is. Those 10 components: budgeting, savings, debt, credit, income, master them. Investing, insurance, financial team, net worth, estate planning, master them. You master them, you maintain them, you'll be all right. And how do you master them? You say, that's why I wrote Made Whole. I walk you through step by step by step. And I give you a place to do the homework inside the book after every single step to master them. Today, we're going to go over credit directly from the book. Okay? Yeah, adulthood is the worst hood. Okay, because birthdays is the worst days. Now we should champagne room with Thursday. Hey, name that song and name that artist. Okay, all right. So we're going to talk about credit. If you have your book out, I'm actually going to be on page 92. This is what we're going to go over today. This is how you know that you've mastered and you can maintain your credit. You ready? Directly from the booksies. El libro, if you speak Espanol like me. Hey, okay. It's like I speak like no Spanish. Your goal at this stage is to grow your FICO. FICO is Fair Isaac Corporation score. I'll explain what the heck that means in a minute. I literally said that. I said, what the heck? Oh, girl. Anyway, but know that you're looking to get to 740 or higher. To achieve this goal, you're going to go through 5 steps. So in the book, so I was truly a school teacher, like once upon a time, and I have my master's in education. As silly as it seems, like I know it all seems like Tiffany's so crazy, she's so silly. Your girl is smart, and there's a method to the straight madness because I know I'm crazy too. But like I always am going to open up the chapter in Made Whole with the objective. That's one of the things they teach you in school, right? Even when I taught the babies, I taught preschool for a long time. Is that like this is what we're gonna learn today? Because I want when you open the chapter, you're under no you just know exactly what you're going to get. That here are the 5 steps we're going to go over, and then we're going to go over the 5 steps. I'm going to do that with you today directly from the book. I tell you what you need in here: an understanding of the basics of credit reporting, which you're going to read below. Your credit report, it's okay, you don't have to have that now. Your credit score, I tell you how to get that, like in the book, okay? And then I also have a quick start. A lot of chapters have a quick start because you might say, girl, I don't want to do all the work right now. I'm tired. I just, it's like starting to work with a personal trainer and the trainer's telling you got to run 5 miles. You're like, maybe I'll walk today, And so that is what the quick start allows you to do. So there's a quick start here. If you had the book, you know, right? But we're not going to do the quick start. We're going to do like the 5 steps. Okay. So first I want to begin with the credit basics. Okay. You have your pen and stuff out. This is going to be great for you to start writing things down now. I want you to understand what your credit score is, what your credit report is, what your credit bureaus are. Okay? Someone say credit in the comments so I know you're listening. Okay, Biggie Smalls, you got it. BK, the home of Biggie and Jay. Okay. That was the song I was doing earlier. If you're late to class, sit down and take a seat. Because right now we're talking about credit and how to raise and maintain it as part of your financial wholeness score. If you're understanding, if you're listening, type credit. Okay. I see Q said credit, Tony, Robin, who else? Island Gal. Okay. Be More, Jamie. Okay. Patrice Walker. Yes. Okay. You're listening, Deborah, Dovette. Some of y'all names is giving away your heritage. I see a lot of West Indians up in here. Okay. Great. Okay. So first, credit score. What is your credit score? Remember back in the day when you went to school and you got a GPA, grade point average? That is really what your credit score is. Your credit score is, right? It's a 3-digit computer-generated number that's designed to calculate the chances that you will pay back the debt that's owed. Did you hear what I said? Your credit score is a 3-digit number that calculates the chances of you paying back the money that's owed. That's why it's so important. In simplest terms, it's a number that tells lenders how close or far you are from bankruptcy. I bet you didn't know that. Did you know that the purpose of your credit score is to see, is he likely to go into bankruptcy? Because if they are, they ain't gonna pay me. They ain't gonna pay me. That's why that credit score is so important, right? Like if you want, ideally, you want to get your credit score to 740, 750, 760 or higher. That's the beginning of perfect credit. Okay, if you have a 760, don't be pressed about an 800 because you're going to get basically the same interest rate as an 800, 850 person. The credit score range from 300, which is poor, F minus, if you will, up to 850, which is exceptional, A plus plus, if you will. But quite honestly, once you get to that 740 point, you're good. I'm not pressed. If once I have 740, 750, 760, you're good. Honestly, I worry about pick somebody else. Worry about somebody else. Exactly. Someone said I didn't know that. Kimmy, that's why I'm here, Kimmy. Because I'm teaching. You're finna learn today. Directly from Made Whole. Okay. Available at madewholeworkbook.com. Matter of fact, let me put it on like this. This is cute at the bottom. I like a little ticker symbol. See that? Your girl be ready. Okay. So that's what your credit score is. 3, it is like your GPA, okay? And then your credit report. So all these are like school aligned. You're going to see credit score, GPA. Credit report, your transcript. Similar to how high school transcripts show the classes you took and how you performed, i.e. your grades, a credit report will show the credit for which you've been approved and how it was managed. Every credit account that's been created and connected to your name and social security number will appear on this report, along with payment history and status of each account, okay? So, and when I say every credit account, I mean every one. Credit cards, mortgages, bankruptcies, liens, and collections will all appear on your credit report. Although anything older than 7 years will eventually fall off. Okay? Your credit report is like your transcripts like you got in high school. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, say sense. Let me tell you paying attention for me. Right? If that makes sense, say sense. Okay? And so like after 7 years, good or bad, typically it will fall off. Now, if it's like really bad, like bankruptcy, foreclosure, it might take up to 10 years to fall off. Okay. But remember, credit score, GPA, credit report, your transcripts. To follow with the theme of school, your credit bureaus are like your teachers. Credit score, like your GPA, your grades. The reason why it's important to understand GPA is an average of your choices, right? Average of your grades. Credit score is the same. Because somebody was like, I paid off my credit card. How come my score didn't jump? That's like saying I ate a salad. How come I'm not skinny? This. It's an accumulation. It's an accumulation of choices. One salad don't make you skinny. If it is, I wouldn't have this right here. I had a salad today, right? Your girl would be skinny. Your credit score is your GPA because it's an average of your financial choices. Your credit report is your transcript. It basically shows you all of those choices, right? Like listed out, right? And then your credit bureau is like your teacher. In high school, your teachers were responsible for grading your work. In the world of credit, the credit bureaus are in charge of evaluating how you use your credit, like your teachers. But unlike your teachers, the credit bureaus are like invisible figures that grade all your credit moves, whether you're aware of it or not. Trust me when I say they're there. And they know that Target credit card. They know about that Target credit card, even if your significant other doesn't. You hiding it from them? Mm-hmm. It's here. Of course, the most important player of all when it comes to your credit is you. You. So credit bureaus, they're going to grade your credit bureau. The credit bureaus is going to put together your transcript just like your teacher. The credit bureaus is going to give you your credit score just like your GPA. Does that make sense? Yeah, she said take it. No, I'm keeping my point. Akeisha said they're going to take my point away. Now, when you see these glasses on, you know I mean business. Look at them. I don't even wear glasses. Look at that. But you know this is teacher Tiffany when I put these glasses on because you're finna learn. You guys are good about credit score, credit report, credit bureau? Are you good? Okay. Yes, right now. So the 3 main credit bureaus right now, Equifax, TransUnion, and what is it? Equifax and Experian. Those are the 3 main credit bureaus. Okay. You're great. Good. Okay, Shaka. Good. All right. So remember I told you that there are 5. Well, I don't know if I told you, but I'm telling you now. This is a great time to write down in your notebook. Write it. I want you to write notebook. Somebody write that in the comments. Notebook. Write notebook. So I know for those of you who write in a notebook, and if you don't have a notebook, still write it because maybe next time it'll help you remember to bring your notebook with you. Come ready for class. Let me put this down because I'm annoying with this. I might bring it back out if I feel like you're not listening. Okay. So we're going to talk about the 5 components of your credit score. This part is really, really, really important, honestly, guys. So, okay. Whew, okay. So Credit score, your high score credit. Well, step one anyway. This is the steps in the book. Remember, there's 5 steps. Is check your payment history. This is 35% of your score. So this is the biggest part of your score. Check your payment history. Payment history is exactly what it sounds like. It's a record of how you've paid your bills in the past. This includes whether they were paid on time and if you paid them in full or just paid the minimum amount. 35% of your score. It's the most significant factor in your credit. It's likely because it's a good indicator of how you pay your bills in the future. Okay. So inside the book, I have the section that says do the work. Grab your credit report, which I have you do earlier in the book, and get ready to act like a detective searching for discrepancies. I recommend focusing on activities from the last 2 years. Why? Because the last 2 years, the last 2 months, most important, then 6 months, then 1 year, then 2 years, up to 2 years. Those are the things that really are going to affect this part of your credit score. Think about it this way. Like if you're going to go away to college and you're going to apply, they're not looking as much as your middle school grades. I'm not to say that this doesn't mean anything, but really college is going to look at you're going to look at high school grades. Your most recent grades are going to make the biggest impact on your ability to go to college. It's the same here. The last 2 years of what you've done with your bills and people that you've owed, that's what the credit bureaus, those teachers that we talked about earlier. You see why I said the credit bureaus are the teachers? They're going to be looking at your last 2 years of your transcript, okay, to give you your GPA, which is your credit score, okay? They're going to look at stuff like personal information, make sure that's up to date. Your account information, is that the right account? Any negative credit history, any late payments that are older than 7 years should fall off. So here I leave you some areas in the book where you could write down what might not look right, right? If you've noted anything that doesn't look right, you want to write a dispute letter. And I actually give you a place to, here, it's inside the what's it called? So when you go to Made Whole Workbook or you type book and I send you the link to go purchase the workbook, madewholeworkbook.com, I give you a template of the dispute letter, right? But I have the dispute letter in here too. So that way, for those who don't want to write, because I'm a little lazy, and so you want to have these components of your dispute letter: the account number, the source of dispute information, type of disputed information, dates associated, explanation of the dispute. But I give you a dispute letter, okay? And so that is step one, which is your credit history. 35% of your score. Someone write 35. So if we were going to work on our credit scores, that is the place where you want to start first. Here's a little hack. If you have a separate checking account, so I like to have two checking accounts, one for spending, one for bills. Because if you're like me, I'm a swipe. Okay, swiping, no swiping. Your sister's gonna swipe. Okay. And so if you have two separate checking accounts, you have one where you're going to keep like your spending money. So that's like hair done, nails done, everything did. That's groceries, that's going out. That's anything that like back in the day, if you would have used cash for it, you're going to keep in that account, that checking account, same bank. I like to have a second checking account just for bills, just for bills. And guess what? Did you know that you can have a checking account and say, I don't want a debit card attached? I didn't know that. Years like I didn't know. Well, I know now, but I didn't know that at the time. I thought if you had a checking account, you have to have a debit card. No, hold on, because your girl's getting parched. I was about to wear a big old sweatshirt too. Thank God I didn't, because I'm getting hot. So you can literally say, can you please detach this debit card from this checking account? Keep it on your spending account, but on your bills account, why are you? You know what? Let me put this down real quick. I'm about to holler at y'all real quick. You know what? Because you think I'm playing with you. I'm going to put this down. Why are you swiping your bill money with your debit card out of your bills account? Why? What? I feel like my dad. Why? Eh? Why are you swiping your bill money away with your debit card? Eh? I'm giving you the Nigerian read. Why are you swiping? Do you want to be living on the streets? That bill money alone, my friend. That's what my dad says, my friend. We ain't friends. It means he's mad. My friend, leave that bill money alone. Leave that bill money alone, my friend. Okay? Let me return back to Tiffany. Right? So you're going to have a debit card for your spending account and no debit card for your bills account. Because you don't need to be swiping Swipey, swipey, swipey. And then you say, I don't have money for bills. I don't, but you have money for Target. You have money for movie. You have money for brows and lashes and hair done, nails done, everything did. You have money for those things. But when it's time to pay bills, you don't have money. You have money. Leave the bills account alone. So if you automate your bills account, remember I told you that 35% of your score is payment history. If you know that you make enough money to cover your bills and you automate that bills account, it will help to take care of payment history. You ain't got to worry about it. So literally you have a separate account where you put your bill money and say, hey, account, pay my bills on time. Pay my bills on time. Pay my bills on time. If you think I'm frozen, I'm not frozen. Well, I don't think so. Hope I'm not frozen over here on IG, right? Pay my bills on time, right? And so if you automate your bills, then it will literally help with 35% of your credit score. Okay. But you need to first separate it from your debit card, take it off, call and make that call, and then automate that. See how I do you? See how I do? Okay. Anybody Nigerian? Look at me, meanwhile, I'm acting Jamaican. Right? Yes. Okay. Good. So that's step one. Let's go on to step two. If you're following along, we are on page Pagina. Oh, look at me. I remember. Pagina Noventa y Nueve. Is that how you say it? 99? So I don't know. Anyway, step two, reduce your amounts owed and improve your credit utilization. 30% of your score. Put 30 in the comments so I know you're listening. Put 30 in the comments so I know you're listening. 30. Yeah, we're talking about auto pay, baby. Hey, baby, we're talking about auto pay. If you automate auto pay from your bills account, that will help with 35% of your credit score, which is the biggest component of your credit score. There's 5 components. Biggest component is payment history. Do you pay them people when they say to pay them people? Right? So that's 35% of your score. 30%, percent of your score is utilization. That's what we're doing now. 30. Put 30 in the comments so I know you're paying attention. If you have not shared this video, if you have not tagged somebody, just say you don't like them. Just say you don't want people to do better than you. You're being selfish. Go ahead and press share. Press share right now. Share, tag your friend in the comments. Say, get over here. The budgetista is teaching on today. Okay. All right, awesome. So, reduce. So what did I say? 30% of your score is your utilization. Are you listening? Credit utilization is the second most impactful factor on your credit. This basically is a measure of how much your available credit you have used. While your credit utilization score includes how you've used all types of credit, including credit cards, mortgages, and car loans, we're going to focus on our discussion on credit card usage because it's the second most heavily weighted part of the score. Okay? The reason it gets more emphasis is because it's unsecured debt, right? So what does that mean? That is, there's no asset for the bank to go after if you don't pay your bill. So unsecured debt, so secured debt, for example, would be a mortgage or car note because it's secured by this asset, which is your car or home. If you don't pay your mortgage, what happens? Foreclosure. Ask me how I know. When I was 29, your girl had foreclosure. If you don't pay your car note, what happens? Repossession. That's a secured debt. It's secured by a physical asset. An unsecured debt is not secured by anything. Right? So if you don't pay your credit card, they're going to try to come after you, but they can't snatch your car. They can't snatch your home. Okay? So the reason why credit bureaus and the credit bureaus, the teachers of credit, remember we talked about that earlier, credit report, credit score is your GPA, credit report is your transcript, credit bureaus is the teachers, right? We're talking, I made that analogy for you so you can remember, right? The reason why it's so important, the teachers are so focused on it, is hard for people to get their money back from you if they lend you money via credit card. Every time you swipe your credit card, you're taking out a loan. So next time you're at Wendy's and you swipe your credit card, then you're taking out a loan for that. What does Wendy's have? That chicken salad sandwich or whatever the thing, that the girls be loving. My sister loves me her Wendy's salad sandwich, right? Wendy's salad, okay? All right. Okay. The credit utilization part of your score is based upon, this is important. People don't understand utilization. It is based upon what percentage of your available credit is being used. So that means what's the limit on that credit card and how much is the balance compared to the limit. You have $100 card and you're using $50, that's the balance. You're using 50% of the card. That's too high. Okay? Right? For example, if you have well, I said I gave you an example. Um, generally, if you're using about 30% or less of your available credit, you are going to maximize this part of your score. And staying around 10% or lower can earn you even more points. Now, here's the thing. 30% is the new 100%. If you have a $100 card, you really don't want your balance to be over $30. If you want to see your score actually go up, you want to keep your balance under $15 or $10. 15 or 10% of your score. Because once you hit 30, your score ain't going nowhere. It's not going higher. You might not bring it down lower, but 30 is not that great. Ideally, you want to pay off your credit card every month in full. Type full. Type it. Full. Write it. Full. 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 Oh, full. And full. And full. And full. 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 That's what you're about to be on Thanksgiving. Full. Okay? So we want you to be full. Right? So here's the do the work section of the book, right? I have you calculate your credit utilization. And so this is how you calculate if you want the calculation. It is your balance your balance divided by your credit limit, right? So my balance divided by my credit limit equals whatever times 100. And that will tell you what percentage you're using. But I already told you how to do that, right? So if I have a $100 card and I'm using 50% of it, it will give me 50%. You know, I'm using five. Okay. If I have a $100 card and I have, say, like $20 on that card, right? That means I'm using 20% of that card. And that's 20% utilization, which is okay. You really want to be under 15%, under 10% if you want to raise that credit score. Now, why is utilization so important? It's 30% of your score. So if payment history is 35%, excuse me, I have asthma. I just used my pump earlier. Apparently don't want to work. I really do have asthma. And this season of allergies has been crazy. I ain't used my pump in years. I'm out here like I'm in middle school. You should have seen me before I got out. I should have brought it with me down here. I don't have it. But 30% of your score. So you want to keep your balances as low. Can you go? Hey, how low? Can you go? Hey, how low? Can you go? Hey, this is a family program. Let me keep it cute. Let me keep it cute for the kids that might be watching. Okay. But no, seriously, you want to keep your balances as low as possible. If you are thinking to yourself, what? I pay my bills on time. I don't know why my score is not moving. You might be keeping too high balances on your credit card. Okay? Yeah, why you be feeling that way with the pump, right? Pump be having you feel like a straight middle schooler. You be out here with your pump like, excuse me. I'm grown. I'm 44 years old with my pump. You know, with the pump too, you can't talk right away. You gotta be like, you gotta hold it a little bit. You're like, okay. You know, you got to get two in if you're serious about your life, you know, and if you have the cheap pump, Lord. So when I'm out of like my prescription pump, I got to get the cheap pump from like CVS, and that thing will have your heart because not really, it has too much steroids in it because the pump has steroids in it. Yo, will have your heart racing. Like you read up says, my heart be like, girl, go ahead and get you the real pump because this is too much. Like last time, the cheap pump, I forget what it's called. What is it? No, what's the cheap pump? Y'all know it's like the orange one. The one I'm like, Lord, it's off the over the counter pump. Lord, that pump have my heart racing. I'm like, I'm gonna make it. This is an emergency pump, you know, like, woo child. I forget what it's called. Oh man, damn emergency pump. Yes. Right. I can't believe and honestly, I've been so good. Like when I tell you I haven't had an asthma attack in years, this year, the pollen in the air. I mean, I had not used a pump in literal years. I had to go to urgent care to get a pump. I was like, because I haven't, like, I don't, like, my asthma was bad middle school and high school, and then I grew out of it. I had, childhood asthma, then the thing came back, right? So anyway, utilization, that part is really, really important, okay? And now here's the thing, utilization they look at each individual card, and they also look at the cards collectively. What does that mean? So if you have one card, and it's $100 limit, and you're not using it at all, your utilization here is 0%. Okay. And then, you Primatine missed. Girl, now I know you know me, I'll be drifting. We're gonna come back. That Primatine missed, that's what it was. That's the over-the-counter one. Primatine missed, child. That thing will have your heart racing, honey, racing like a racehorse at the Kentucky Derby. So that's the one that you could get like, over the counter, but it's not prescription. So I don't know what the content is as far as the daggone steroids, but you use Primatene Mist, your heart literally. I'm like, my heart like, come on back in my body, baby. We gonna be all right. I only use Primatene Mist. I have it as a backup, but last time I went to the daggone urgent care because I need a daggone pump. I was like, please make me a prescription for 2. I can't be using that Primatene Mist. Might not make it. Oh my goodness, I need to have a backup pump in this daggone room. Okay, so utilization, like I said before, it's a mixture, right? It's a mixture of your one card and then cards collectively. So I meant to tell you, for example, you have one card, you're not using it. You're like, my utilization is 0%. Okay, so that's making your credit score go up, 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 up. And then you have another card and you're like, I have $100 limit and I have a $40 balance, using 40% of this card. And you're like, remember I told you 30% really is the new max, so it's not so great. But so they're looking at this card like, yeah, do better. But if you put this card with this card, remember they look at the cards individually, but then they also look at them collectively. So between these two cards, 40% usage, 0% usage, you are really using 20% holistically. So that actually is not so bad. So just keep that in mind, that like you can be maxed out with one card and then, not max out another, and it can help you bring that your utilization down. So oftentimes the utilization trick is to sometimes people will open up a new card that they're not going to use to help offset the card that's kind of maxed out. That's one of the ways you can to break utilization. But ideally the best way is to pay down the card and leave it alone. Okay. We're going to take questions at the end. Okay, that's number 2. Numero trace, number 3. We're on page 102 if you're following along inside my new book, Made Whole. Type book in the comments if you're on IG. If I'm looking at you here, because some of y'all over here, I'm not actually looking at you. See right here? Not you. You over there on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. It's cool. We friends, but I'm not talking to you at this moment. I'm talking over here. You on IG. Type book in the comments and I will send you a link to purchase the book, and it's going to come with a bracelet and it can be signed. You right here. The one, you can see my hands like this. I'm talking to you. You can just go to madewholeworkbook.com. Low key, you can go to madewholeworkbook.com too. But it's just easy. It's a cute little link that I will send you, right? So look at y'all. You right here. Look how many people don't listen. I'm about to hold on, IG. I'm about to talk to people on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Okay, Instagram. Hold real quick. Instagram. Didn't I tell y'all? See this? Didn't I tell you don't type book in the comments? If you see me tapping the screen right now, stop typing book in the comments. Some of y'all literally have MBA by your name. I'm gonna need you to listen. I'm gonna need you to listen. Lori, don't play with me, Lori. Lori said book, laugh out loud. Don't play with me, Lori. If I'm typing this, you typing book ain't gonna do nothing. There is a special tool that we use on IG only, that if you type book in the comments on IG only, Julie trying to play with me, Julie wrote book, that it will send you a look on book on IG. It will send you, but if you're not on IG, literally y'all working my nerves, right? Here, IG. Go ahead, IG, type book. I have to go yell at your girls over here on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter. Ain't no bot over here. Like, I'm using a special IG tool that allows me to send IG people the link in their DMs. You over here, that's okay over here. See this? If you see this all in your face like this, my pointer all in your face, I'm just pointing with them. Give me a moment. See this on your face? Book won't work for you. Book won't work for you. See what I gotta do? Why I gotta do all that? It's not gonna work for you. You have to go to madewholeworkbook.com. It's okay. They are gonna go to madewholeworkbook.com too. It's just that I'm gonna send them the link. I'm gonna slide into their DMs and send them the link for it. Just you're right here. Look, Renata said, book. Detention. Who else is getting detention? Let's see. Detention for Renata. I want to see you after class. Robin. Detention for Robin. I'm going to see you after class. Mm-hmm. And also, too, someone said, look, Tiffany, you should have the link pinned in YouTube. Meanwhile, let me get them together real quick. What does it say right here, underneath here, right? You see this right here? What does that say? Order made whole at Made whole workbook. I literally have it written below. You see that? You see that? And look. You see that ticker? It's a ticker. It's literally moving at the bottom. Order, made whole, and made whole. Who else needs attention? Who else? Because some of y'all gonna get the attention because it's on the screen. It's on the board. It's on the chalkboard. Okay. Yes. Okay. Made whole workbook. They go, you know what? Oh, those of you with children, so I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter. And Lord knows she don't be listening. But those of you who have multiple children, I'm gonna pray for you on tonight. I'm gonna pray for you on tonight. Because Lord knows if the grown-ups ain't listening, I know the babies is hard-headed. Your girl, see, look at this. You got me wearing glasses I don't even need. Look. Ain't no glass in here. Okay. All right. Literally moving at the bottom. All right, we focus back. We back. Okay. All right. They not glasses, right? Some of y'all going to the next person that types book over here on this side. You think I'm gonna take a screenshot and you're having detention on Saturday. Remember, you used to have Saturday detention? That's if you was real bad. I mean, I wouldn't know because I was a good kid, but they used to have Saturday detention. They had after school detention for the kids to act up a little bit. I wouldn't know because my dad did not play that. But then they had Saturday detention for you need your behind whoop, but I can't beat you in school. So they had Saturday detention. Some of y'all can have Saturday detention. Okay, so step 3 is 15% of your score. Put 15 in the comments. 15. They said the link doesn't work anymore. It should work. If anybody's having trouble with someone said you got some patience, I would have blocked them. No, I'm not blocking nobody. We're just all in good fun. If the link don't work, girl, just go to madewholeworkbook.com. 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 Okay, so if the link doesn't working. Anyway, 15% of your score is identify the length of your credit history. Hack your age, right? So length of credit history is 15% of your score. 15, type 15. Good. Right from the book, we're on page 102. Credit history, which accounts for 15% of your score, is the part of your credit score assigned based upon how long you've used credit. Based upon how long that you've used credit, 15% of your score. Okay? Your oldest accounts and the average age of your open and closed accounts will be listed. Since this factor is really more about age than performance, it can seem to unfairly penalize people who have little to no credit history. But remember that a credit score is based upon how you've used the credit available to you. Without a history, it's really hard to have any kind of proof of performance, right? And so, but I'm going to tell you some ways that you can raise this part. So here's what this means. 15% of your score is how long you've been using credit. Your grandma is going to have a higher pointage here because she likely has had a credit card or something longer than you, right? And so here's some of the things that you can do to help strengthen the length of your credit history. 1, you can keep your oldest credit card open. 2, you could become an authorized user. This is called piggybacking. So for example, my sister Lisa, she is the baby of the family. So she's 9 years younger than me. And so I have put Lisa at points in times on my oldest credit card so it can elongate her credit history. So when you're an authorized user, it means she's authorized to use a card. But girl, you think I'm giving Lisa my card? You think again. Not the baby. Not the baby. She's one of 5. You already know. If you're your older sister, you know damn well the baby is the y'all baby. Who's a baby? Type baby if you're a baby. Because some of y'all babies out here, grown babies. Lisa is a 34-year-old grown baby. Child, no, not 34. Lisa is 30, come 44. She didn't turn, I think she's 36, so she didn't turn 34 yet. 33-year-old grown baby. Child, y'all babies out here act like you can't do nothing. 50 years old and a baby. We still got to hold y'all. The older siblings, you know we be holding them down. What would the baby do without us? What would the baby do? Just out here, just not paying attention. We out here surveilling, like doing surveillance, and they're like, making my way to the top, rocking that. Baby's just all in the clouds. The older siblings out here getting the parents together, getting the, Thanksgiving together, making all the plans. The babies just be like, what's going on, huh? Mommy and daddy just be giving them all the things. No kind of structure, no kind of discipline. We raise these parents so that way you can have it easy. They are babies. Anyway, like I was saying, Look at y'all babies in here. You're like, I'm a baby. Child, we sick of y'all. We love y'all. But you know we're sick of y'all. Child, we like you. I'm the mama too. Anyway, Lisa, right? So Lisa, I put her on as an authorized user. So she got to inherit my good behavior. Now, here's the thing. Did I give Lisa a card? No. Could I have? Yes. Will I? No. Because she's the baby. But I was like, girl, you can inherit my good behavior. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that if you do become an authorized user on someone's card, it's a card they pay off in full every single month. And it's a card that they're never late on, because you will inherit their bad behavior too. So you really want to pick somebody mature and somebody who's like, navigating with that credit card, like paying off in full every month. Okay. Child. Oh, you're the only child. You're a perma baby child. Okay. And also too, another thing you can do is you can get a credit builder loan, which I think I give you a link to that, or a secured credit card. I have a couple of credit builder loan and secure credit cards that I suggest. So if you go to Made Whole Workbook, or you type book, I actually will give you a link to the book page, and you'll see something called the Made Whole Toolkit. Now, the thing about the toolkit is low key, high key, you don't gotta pay for it. There is a toolkit at the top of the page. You click the button, you put your name, number, phone number, email, whatever, and I will email you the toolkit. It's all the tools for Made Whole. So that is my gift, that even if you don't buy the book, because you might not have the money, the book is $22 US, $22.99 US. But I know everybody does, so you can always ask your library for the book. I know it's probably on sale a lot of places, but even that, you can always go to Made Whole Workbook and get the toolkit and at least have that. Okay, so that's always my gift to you. And I have a list of credit builder loans and secured cards to help you with this length of credit history component. Okay, so I have you do the work. Keep the oldest card open. I literally, for example, one of the things for do the work. Here's some questions you can ask somebody. It says literally here, I will ask blank if I can be an authorized user on their card. Maybe bring their favorite refreshment. I wrote this to make this ask go over a little better. I think I'm funny. Anyway, and so here's some things you're going to ask. Is it a positive account? Does the card have a low balance and perfect payment history? Right? Is the card at least 3 years old? That's important. Does the card issuer report authorized users to the credit bureaus? They can and should ask the issuer this question. So you want to ask, if you're calling Visa, like, hey, I'm adding my sister. Are you going to report this to the credit bureaus? Because I want to make sure that she's getting credit for this. Do you pay the card off in full each month? This is you, babies, who we need to get authorized users, or anybody. Here's the questions to ask directly in the book, okay? You want all the questions to be yes in order for you to get the most out of being added as an authorized user. If you don't feel comfortable asking these questions, you're probably not asking the right person. Be sure to make it clear you don't want to use the card, because we don't want to trust you, and that you don't want the physical card or any kind of access at any point, okay? So this is directly here, okay? Made Whole. Okay. All right. So that's number 3. We only have 2 more left. 4. What time is it? Okay. I'm making good time. Protect your credit increase. 10% of your score is credit increase. So what is a credit increase? A credit increase is when we're on page 106 for those of you who have the book. We're on page 106. Okay. When you apply for credit, a company will run or pull your credit history to evaluate your score and credit worthiness. Your credit worthiness is a lender or creditor's assessment of how likely you are to pay your debts. It has nothing to do with your personal worth or value. That's important to understand, okay? There are many scenarios that require credit increase, including whenever you apply for a loan or credit card, or when you open a utility account, or get new cable or cell phone service. When it's necessary, there's nothing wrong with having your credit run, but you want to be selective about who runs it and ensure that you know what type of inquiry is being done. There are 2 types of credit inquiries, soft and hard. It's important to know the difference, as the actual act of pulling affects your credit differently. Okay? Let's go over soft inquiries directly from the book. I told you I'm paying 106 of Made Whole, my new book. A soft inquiry, or known as a soft pull, does not require your permission, does not impact your credit score at all, pulls partial information to see if you meet the most basic approval guidelines that a company has in place, can grant pre-qualifications, right? Credit card companies, for example, and lenders will run a soft pull on you before sending product offerings. So you know how you be getting stuff in the mail from whatever company, saying like, oh, you've been pre-approved because they did a soft pull. It does not negatively affect your score. A hard inquiry, also known as a hard pull, I'm on page 106 again, requires your permission. You got to give it up. Do the give it up. Oh, whomever's. Do the give it up. Now think about it. Isn't that how you do the give it up? It's like the twerk. I'm realizing now that I'm turking, do the give it up. Give what up? Damn, we were some fresh kids. Do the give it up. When I used to do the give it up back in the day, I didn't realize I was, child, I'm saved and sanctified. We don't do that no more. I just realized I'm like, damn, why do they have us out here? Oh, child. Okay. Yes, I have this teaching stick. Hey, Jessica, girl. We ain't playing out here. Look, Jessica, I got a teaching stick and my fake glasses. Because you're gonna I should put it right there. Oh, I should do this. So you can know I'm a real teacher. I'm a real teacher. Okay. So credit inquiries. Here's a little at page 107. Credit inquiry. Run it or don't run it. This is how you're gonna decide. Page 107. Mortgage. If you're buying, it's a must. Mortgage. For pre-approval only, ask if you can provide your own. If you're just doing pre-approvals because you're just thinking about it, see if you can provide your own. Credit cards, if it's going to benefit your financial health, such as by helping you with utilization or getting you much needed bonuses like travel points and you're responsible with your credit card, okay, you can let them run it. Don't let them run it if it's going to harm your financial health and or it's a store credit card. Leave them store credit cards the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? I said, leave them the hell alone. Those store credit cards are the worst. They're the worst. You used to back in the day, back in my day, we used to get store credit cards to start the credit process, because it was like, oh, you couldn't get a regular card, but you get a store card and you built up, you used it properly, and then you got a regular card. But you don't need to do that no more. There are secured cards that you can build up your credit score with before you get a regular card. A secured card is like a card with training wheels. A regular unsecured card, which is just a regular card, is when the bank issues you a card, you swipe it, you're using basically their money till you pay them back. A secured card is when the bank says, I don't know you like that. Give me 300, 500, 600 bucks. You put that money, they put that money in like a savings account for you or a money market account, which is basically a savings account. And they give you whatever that money they put up, that $500, $300, $600, whatever you gave them. That's the limit on the credit card they're giving you. So it's secured with your money. So if you don't pay that credit card, they're just gonna be like, girl, you play, congratulations, you played yourself. They're just gonna go right to your savings account and be like, run that. Tiffany ain't pay. Run that money back to me. Okay? So you don't need to do store cards anymore. They're the worst. Sorry. Go play with somebody else, retailers. I don't care. I say what I meant. I meant what I said. They're the worst. Okay? So here's do the work. Oh, I have a pledge for you. Your name, pledge to not open a credit card unless it makes sense for my financial goals and overall financial wholeness, health. Because I know in the long run, it's going to cost me more. Signature. Oh, you thought I was playing with you? Yeah, this is in here. You thought I was playing with you? No. Okay. So store cards are the worst. Here's why store cards are the worst. Well, let me not say that. To be all the way honest, a store card can be helpful. So I'll give you an example of when a store card can potentially be helpful. I was renovating the house that you see me in now, right? And I knew that I was going to be spending thousands of dollars on like renovation stuff, right? And so I was tempted to open a Home Depot store card because I was going to be running, Home Depot was going to be running my pockets, right? So in instances where potentially you are going to be spending thousands of dollars, especially if you are like a contractor or a designer, whatever, then actually might make sense. Like I know my designer has a Sherman Williams store card because it makes sense for her profession, right? But for the most part, because like let's just say at Home Depot, I'm spending thousands of dollars and I get 10% back or whatever. But the problem is when I'm not renovating anymore, now I have this card. So I decided instead of getting a Home Depot card, I had like a travel card. And so I put all of my expenses on this travel card. And at the end, guess who earned herself a free vacation with the points? So I don't like store cards because it means I have to use it at that store to get the benefit. So I don't want to have to use the card. I want to have a card that I can use anywhere. So for example, my mom is going to Nigeria. We're Nigerian. And she was like, "Oh, do you have points?" As if like the points wasn't money I spent. These parents are like kids. Raising parents is hard. I said, "Sis, do you have McDonald's money? You got Nigerian? Talking about you want my points? You know how many points it's gonna cost me anyway?" That's my mama. So I was like, "All right, mommy." So it cost me a ton of points, like 400,000 points to get her ticket. But it's because I use this card for everything, you know? So the reason why I don't like store cards is because in order for you to garner the real benefit, I would have to use it at this one store versus a regular credit card that gives you like gas points or travel points or miles or whatever it is. Anytime I can use it anywhere, anytime. You see what I mean? That's why I don't like store cards. It's not that I'm not anti-credit card. It's just that a store card like locks you into this one store versus like I'd rather just have a regular card. Does that make sense? Oh, happy birthday, Michelle. Happy birthday. Michelle says she got an autographed copy of Made Whole and arrived for her birthday. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay. So for example, for my business, I have an Amex card. I have an Amex, I have I have three businesses, but two of them have platinum, I'm about to say silver, platinum Amex cards. And then I personally have a gold Amex card, right? And so what I do like about Amex don't give me no money. What I do like about Amex is that I garner a lot of points and it all goes into one point pool. So when the Literature Academy, my online school, uses it for marketing or whatever, it goes into this point pool. When the Budgetnista, which is the other business, uses it for like, I don't know, like sometimes for the Budgetnista, I might buy, I don't know, like I just had to go to DC. I did like a book opening, a book like launch thing for Made Whole in DC. And I had to like, I decided to drive from Jersey where I lived, and the car was $500 to rent it, that card, I would use the Amex card. That the points pooled in the same place. And then today I like went to Zara and I found like this really cute jacket that I liked. So I swiped it on my personal gold card. But guess what? What I like about Amex is that all of those points pool in the same bucket. And so that's why when my mama came to me was like, "You got points, girl?" I was like, "I might." And so that's why I prefer to have a generalized card that I can use anywhere, so I can those points can pool. So I have like a Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is a good travel card that I like. I have my Amex card for my businesses. I also have a personal, um and I do have this Bank of America card, but it's my oldest card. I got it when I was 18, so I keep it open so I can have my length of credit history. I be living that life. So you think I'm just talking? For real. I be living that life. Okay. Anyway, I'm just sharing. So yeah, so that's 10% of your score is credit increase. So when you go into, so like for example, the place I hear this the most is typically Marshalls or TJ Maxx. Sorry, because I would love to be sponsored by y'all, and I love y'all, but I'm not getting a card. Sorry. So when I'm at the Marshalls, which I am a lot, because I love me some Marshalls and some TJ Maxx, y'all be seeing me in there saying, "Hey, Budgetnista." I'm like, I'm really the Budgetnista. I'll be in there, get my life together. Okay, I love it. And I be going to the front, and the ladies be saying, "Oh my gosh, would you like to open a card? And you can save 10% off today." And I always say, I have my rule. If you ask me 3 times, I'm gonna be the Budgetnista, meaning I'm like, I'm about to teach a lesson. So you ask one time, "Would you like to open a card today?" "No, thank you," to the cashier. And then they're doing it. "Oh, we got a lot. Oh, this is cute." Cashier be like, "Oh, these glasses are cute. Ow. This whatever. This shirt is cute. Where'd you find it? This magnifying glass that I randomly have here. It's cute. Where you get it?" I'm like, "Oh, I got it in this aisle, whatever. Just be chit chatting. I'm friendly or whatever." They asked me again, "You sure you don't want to get a card?" I'm like, "Sis, I'm good." But in my head, I was like, if she asked me a third time, I finna be the Budgetnista. Right? And then, "Oh, this is cute. Where you get this lotion from?" I'm like, "Oh, in the back over there." And then they're like, third time, "You sure you don't want to open the card? You could really save such and such today." Then I'm like, "Budgetnista activated. Budgetnista activated." And then I say, "Now, do you know that every time I apply for a credit card, or you as well, it lowers your score anywhere from 8 to 30 points, even if I'm denied. So you can run my credit in order to try to pre-approve me or approve me for a card. And whether I get the card or not, it's going to drop my score. So the $10 that I'm saving on this outfit or whatever, I'm actually going to spend, like, it's going to cost me money, because a lower score means it costs me more money to borrow money. It means that if I go for a mortgage or a car note or whatever, and they're like, I said, "Girl," and I'm always nice about it. I'm like, so just like keep that in mind for yourself, that Like, don't, like, even when like opening up credit cards willy-nilly, or like, oh yeah, let's just see. No, sis, you are losing points for nothing. Nada. Okay. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But like I said, I'm always nice about it. And they'd be like, because honestly, they don't know. They're just told by the store, like, hey, tell the girls, open up a card and I'm sure they get like $20 for everybody who opens up a card, yada, 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 sis, boom, bada. But I'm here to be like, I didn't want to do it to your sis. But I'm like, you asked the third time. Now I got to activate Butanista. So just keep that in mind. Like opening up store cards, like, so for 10% of your score, only let somebody, someone's running your credit. If you give them your social security number, last 4 digits, whatever, that's a hard inquiry. It's bringing down your score. That's okay when you're purchasing a car. That's okay when you're purchasing a house. And even then, if I'm trying to get like, financing, I bring my score for the pre-approval process. I'm like, no, I got my score. Use this and then tell me. And then when I decide on you and I'm actually purchasing the thing, then I'm like, all right, you can officially run my score. Does that make sense? Last but not least, have you been having fun? Have you been having fun with me? Ooh, type fun if you've been having fun with me. We talking money. See how money is funny? Money can be funny. Maybe I should have wrote that. I should have called the book Money Can Be Funny with the budgeting stuff. Okay. All right, last one. 10% of your score is your credit mix. That's just, right? That's just like, do you have, there's 2 types of credit, right? So obviously, let me read this since, right straight from the book. We're on page 108 if you have the book. The last piece of your score is based upon a factor referred as a credit mix. This is basically an assessment of how you do with various types of credit. Since it accounts for just 10% of your score, you can think of this bit of information as more of an FYI than an action item, right? So there are 2 types of credit: revolving credit and installment credit. Revolving credit is your credit card because you pay it and that amount revolves, meaning that the available credit limit becomes available to you again. It doesn't, how you paid off a credit card, it doesn't just close. It just means that like, oh, you can use it again. Installment credit is when you get a loan and are required to make monthly installment payments until your loan is paid to zero and closed out. Monthly, annually, regular payments, right? There may be certain scenarios where a lender wants to see a mix regardless of your credit score, but generally it's not an issue. And you can have an excellent credit score without having both types of credit. For example, I don't have any installment loans, right? So I don't have a mortgage, I don't have a car note, I don't have a student loan, nothing. I paid off everything. I'm debt free like a toddler baby, right? And so I have an 800 credit score, right? And so I do have revolving credit that I pay off every month in full. But I just want you to understand that 10% of your credit score is your credit mix, okay? So just for review, 5% is 5 components of your credit score. Component number 1, 35% of your score is what again? It is your payment history, right? 30% of your score, it is your utilization. So those 2 together are going to totally transform your score if you work on those 2 things. Meaning pay down your debt for utilization, pay your debt regularly, ideally automatically with your payment history. That will account for 65% of your score collectively, right? And then 15% of your score is your length of credit history. Keep your oldest credit card open, okay? Become an authorized user if you need to. 10% of your score is increase. Don't let them people run your credit so you can get an old raggedy store card that you don't need, right? Protect your increase like this, okay? And then last but not least, another 10% of your score is your credit mix. Do you have both revolving credit, which is credit cards, and installment credit, which is like loans? But you don't need to do both. This is just an FYI, okay? Okay? So a component of your, so at the end of Made Whole, I always give you kind of like, all right now, like I always give you a little pep talk. I don't know if you can see right here. See the percentage? Like you are 40% whole. All right, now you're nearly halfway to whole. I see you and I acknowledge the work you're doing. Be sure to do the same. That's right. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're doing a good job. Type good job. Yes, I'm talking to you. This is what I wrote in the book, for real. Sometimes you just got to show yourself some love. So like, me, like I be teasing y'all, but I really do believe that like, it doesn't make sense. Like someone told me today that they were embarrassed about how little she heard an interview that I did. And like, she felt embarrassed about how little she accomplished or something. I said, sis, I'm sorry. We're not doing that. Embarrassed about why? Who? No, I said, no, we're not doing that. I'm not going to allow you to speak poorly about yourself. Sometimes we talk so bad about ourselves. We would never let anybody talk to us that way. Never, ever, ever. We're not doing that. You made a mistake. Okay. And so I have this in real life story. Um, and so I try to put these in the book because I know sometimes you feel that way, that you're feeling bad about yourself. So I created these. I asked people who read the original book, Get Go with Money. Remember, this is the workbook version of Get Go with Money. I asked people who read Get Go with Money if they could submit their stories. And this is Carla from Los Angeles. When I was young and beginning my credit journey, I had to start from scratch because I didn't come from a family where you opened credit cards to get things. My mom had messed up her credit at some point and just wouldn't touch credit cards. So it wasn't even a discussion. When I did eventually get credit cards when I was about 18, all I knew was that I should pay the bills. I didn't know the ins and outs of credit. It was through Tiffany's book and her group. If you want to join my private group, go ahead to Made Whole Workbook. There's a link to join the private group. It's totally free. Tiffany's book and group that I learned strategies for building and improving your credit, that you can call up the creditors and ask them to raise your credit, that you shouldn't have too many credit accounts or let too many hard inquiries be pulled. What happens when you apply for credit cards or a loan. I also learned that you should keep your oldest credit card open. You see, I've been saying this, right? Because that assists with your length of credit history, how long you've been using your credit, factors into your score. And if a credit card is closed, it's no longer adding to your history positively. Over time, by applying these principles, I've seen my credit go from 700 to about 830. It's almost perfect. It is perfect, actually. 850 is the top. At 830, they consider that perfect credit, right? What I found, though, is that by improving your credit, what I found, though, is that improving your credit isn't just about applying principles. It can make your life better. When I applied to rent an apartment last year, my credit was run by the owners. They just kept saying that I had an amazing score. Oh, I'm not one to try to prove something to people, but it made me feel good. And I liked that I was on the right track. It was a validation of my hard work and my dedication to being a good steward of my credit and to my finances as a whole. Having good credit has created access, and that's huge for me. I haven't needed a cosigner. I'm offered good interest rates. I don't have to put a deposit down on a rental car. I receive letters saying that my credit is being increased. I get the kinds of credit cards that give you perks. A lot of these things make my life a little easier and allow me to save money, all thanks to having good credit. Eventually, I was able to add, oh my gosh, I'm not going to cry. Eventually, I was able to add my mom onto one of my cards, to have that trade line, which is, like I said, the authorization, positively affect her score. I shared with her the tools and tips I learned from Tiffany, and she was able to build her credit. Little by little, she got her score up from 500 or so to 710. So now she's able to get a new car and she's able to get a new credit card. That means this knowledge benefited not only me, but also helped my family and inner circle. It's just so influential. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't cry, Tiffany. I'm a big baby. As much as I joke and whatever, like for real. This is what I mean. I am going to cry. This is what I mean, you know? And so, Made Whole, like when I wrote Get Good with Money, the sister book, right? This is the big sister book, Get Good with Money. It helped so many people, nearly 300,000 people, that people wanted kind of like a more concise version that they could do the work inside. So I created Made Whole, right? And it's still the same 10 steps to financial wholeness: budgeting, savings, debt, credit, income, investing, insurance, net worth, your financial team, and estate planning, right? All in this book, all 10 steps, and I walk you through. I make sure in each of those chapters, I include an in real life story of someone that the initial book helped them with. Because I know as you read, you might be feeling, oh, cute for Tiffany, but not me. You too. You too. You know, like you too. Like, look what happened here. Her mother, because she raised her own self up. What was her name? Caroline? I want to say Carlos. Child, not Carlos. Girl, you know your girl be having the worst memory, right? What was her name? I want to say your name, sis. Carla, right? Because Carla was able to learn the lessons, she was able to help her mother too. That's transformational. Did you see all the things? It wasn't just about credit, right? It was about living a better life, access to better cars that can give her benefits, being able to rent an apartment, being able to get a rental car, being able to not have to put deposits down. Bad credit makes for an expensive life. Bad credit makes for an expensive life, you know? So, like, the better your credit, it makes it easier to navigate life, financially. And so I want that for you. So, if you haven't already, we're going to meet again next week. For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be teaching a lesson like I did today, directly from Made Whole. Bring it with you because it's really going to make an impact, like when we teach the lesson, because you can write notes in it. So go on over, type book. If you're on IG, I'll send you the link, or just go to madewholeworkbook.com. Madewholeworkbook.com. You should see the link below here. Book over here for you, IG. Link below here if you're on any place else but IG. Madewholeworkbook.com. And not only can you get the book, I'll send you the bracelet if there's still some left, and it'll be signed. And we'll work out of it next week, So just thank you for spending this time. We had fun, right? So thank you so much. I will save these replays. You can watch again. So someone said, okay, before we go, so we get both books. It's up to you, right? So this is like the textbook. This is the super deep dive. Like I think about, if you old school, like this is like the encyclopedia. Get Good with Money. You can go to getgoodwithmoney.com, if you want, right? So this is like literally like the textbook. And if you're someone who is like, girl, I want to get right to the work, so it's still both the same 10 steps. So if you have Get Good with Money and you ain't started it, go ahead and get you all made whole. So both of them are really great additions. We're actually working on a bundle now with Penguin. I told them, I was like, I want to create a bundle because this is the type of book. Literally, this is how people use this book, which I love. They put it on their shelf and they're like, what did Tiffany say about my credit score? Let me take it out. You know how your mom be doing like that. All right. What did Tiffany say about let me say about my credit score? That's what this book be about. Like, right? And this book is, let me get myself together. I don't even have I usually have a clicker. Click, click, click. Let me get my life together, child. Click. Because like, look, there's empty like sheets all throughout the book. You could write, so that's what this is workbook. This is, let me see what she has said about investing. It's like, okay. Does that make sense? Okay. She said she did. Okay. Oh, your Carla? Is Carla in here? C-Bank Fitness? Carla, we just read your story. Yes, Carla is literally in the comments. I love that, And so, I say both of them are really great tools. And I can't tell you which one is going to help you more. It really depends on your personality. So I say get both. And depending on like what kind of like energy you're looking for, if you can't get both, then get one of them based upon whether you need like kind of like a textbook or whether you really need a workbook right now. Okay. But madewholeworkbook.com. And yeah, and don't just get one for you, get one and gift it. Honestly, I don't believe money should be done alone. I think that you should have somebody to work with you, All right. I will see you. Goodbye. Farewell. I'll be the zangle. I do. Do you and you and you. Goodbye.